of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte tonight. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 20. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And, boy, the payoff was good.
The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to roam now. A big pickup there on the run. 33 yards.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. They'll look to throw now on first down. He completes it to Julio Jones. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. The gun. They'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick, but when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little
prestige? Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that, and I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck as some guys may have fallen to them, but for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. again, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete as the screen there unsuccessful. So now 4th down coming up.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And Murray's kick is up and good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. It's complete. Fleener, right side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Newton on 3rd down. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. This will be fielded at the 17. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
2nd down now after the incompletion. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35.
No matter how you have that throw on the out route.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, It's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. Third and 5. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
And his kick is right through. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit. It looks like, yes, it is 6 defensive backs on the field for Carolina.
They're going with a dime set. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
This is taken at the 18. So 1 quarter in the books here on our first Sunday. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only one on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Here's the Panthers defense as they get set to go again. They have a little something to build off of from last time with a 3-and-out.
And what they have to build off of? Great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3-and-out. You feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see. And after a nice game, they don't need the penalty. They'll decline it, take the ball where the play resulted. Now they'll run it on the toss. 12 yards on the pickup, and that leads to an Atlanta 1st down.
And that's the way to start a drive, and that's the way to continue a drive. Back-to-back, nice chunk plays. And if you're the offensive coordinator in your chess match with the defensive guy, you're thinking maybe you put him in a spot where he's got to load up against the run because that last one was a really nice play. What are you going to do now? Do you go ahead and play into it, continue to run the ball, play action, try and hit him over the top? You've got to feel like you have the advantage.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. 10 yards to go on 3rd. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper from a yard out. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. And he's a reliable target. He's more than that, though. Hey, look, I'm not going to say he's the best tight end in the league, but he's solid.
Yeah, because he's able to block, and that's almost a lost art for a number of the tight ends in the league now because the most popular guys are almost what we call move tight ends, more like receivers, but those guys who can do it all, there's still a place for them in the NFL.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense. They say, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Shedding the tackle that gives him some room. A gain of 32 that time.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's got time in the pocket. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up 1st downs.
Off play action. Newton surveying the field. He's going to go, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
They'll run here. This is Kadeem Carey. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our 1st half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, Parker, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. And they'll run it here. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
see if they stay on the ground for second down.
Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
A gain of 6 there on first.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does. He figured out where the blitz was coming from and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. Newton to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Falcons have broken our tie.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
This for the final moments of this second quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Carolina getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To throw on second down is Newton. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, Newton. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race, and he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is,
Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Back to throw, Newton. Thomas has got it, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is taken at about the 14. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
They come out here in the eye.
Hey, let's go. Check. Get up.
A first throw for the backup, Ryan. He's going to let this one go deep. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
On 3rd down, Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Carolina getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And, he coughed it up. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. 2nd down fumble. Now the offense needing to do something here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will get the 1st down as he's up to the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game. And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And taken right at the 35. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to work. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he slings one that's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Now it's Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And Murray's kick is up and good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the Falcons defense getting set to go again. They're hoping to do what they did last time, force another punt. Last time it resulted in a field goal. We'll see if they can get another stop here, though.
And the best defenses are in the business of preventing points and creating points. And that's exactly what these guys did on their last possession. Why? Because they got off the field on 3 and out, turned the ball over to their offense after the punt, and let them roll downfield and put the ball through the post for a field goal.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return back now here on EA Sports. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And he's got it over the middle. Flainer. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes the play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Carolina. Their dangerous wide receiver, 61 yards. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown.
I think if you polled defensive backs, They would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. So 3rd down, just 1 yard to go. On 3rd and short to give it a tight end. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaq Thompson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. On 2nd down, Ryan. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. And now that brings up 4 for Atlanta. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Back to throw, Newton. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now Newton, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Holding, offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. From the gun, here's Newton. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Brett Kern now. As he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And it's taken in at the 9. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And here now come the Falcons. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. And he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Now Ryan on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 2nd down following the run. Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. Looking left-sided, it's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Their dangerous wide receiver with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now it's Newton. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Newton on first down. He's got time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. On second down, here's Newton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And some space here. Ricardo Allen with a pick.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now it's Ryan. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Ryan wants to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. It's a pickup of 17 there. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kenny Clark in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And partner, this first week, this first